The receptionist's eyes widened in recognition, realizing this wasn't just a random guest, but someone connected to their high-profile clients. Angela smiled inwardly, knowing this was only the beginning. The hotel staff had no idea what was coming next. Angela followed the manager into the lounge, her calm demeanor masking the storm she quietly unleashed. As they sat, the manager began apologizing profusely, offering upgrades, free amenities, and anything else to make amends. Angela listened patiently, but before she could respond, the doors opened. A woman in a sharp business suit entered, her presence commanding attention. It was the regional director of the hotel chain, a person Angela had contacted earlier. The receptionist's smirk had vanished entirely as she watched the director walk past her without a word. The director approached Angela, addressing her with genuine respect and concern. "Miss Carter, I'm deeply sorry for how you've been treated. This is unacceptable, and I assure you we'll be addressing this immediately." Angela thanked her but didn't stop there. She calmly explained how incidents like this weren't isolated and how systemic change was needed. The director nodded, visibly shaken. Just as the tension seemed to ease, Angela dropped one final surprise. Her company had been considering a lucrative partnership with the hotel chain, but after this experience, that decision would need a thorough reevaluation. The color drained from the manager's face. The receptionist, who had been listening from a distance, now fully understood the weight of her actions. Angela stood, her presence as powerful as ever. "Perhaps this will be a reminder to treat every guest with dignity," she said before walking out, leaving the hotel staff stunned and scrambling to repair their reputation. As Angela walked out of the hotel, she felt a sense of satisfaction, not from revenge, but from standing up for herself and setting an example. Moments like these weren't just about her. They were about challenging biases and forcing change where it was long overdue. She knew her actions would spark conversations within the hotel's leadership, ensuring no other guest would have to experience what she had. The hotel chain later reached out with a formal apology, implementing new training programs for their staff to address issues of discrimination. Angela, always focused on growth, accepted their efforts but made it clear she would be watching closely. For Angela, this wasn't just about one encounter. It was a reminder of the power of composure, strategy, and influence. She returned to her work with renewed determination, knowing she had turned a moment of injustice into a lesson that would ripple far beyond that hotel lobby. Imagine walking into a luxury hotel, excited for a business trip, only to be met with judgment before you even say a word. That's exactly what happened to Angela, a successful Black CEO, who was treated as if she didn't belong. The receptionist, cold and dismissive, made it clear she didn't take Angela seriously, assuming she wasn't important enough to deserve respect. Little did she know, Angela wasn't just any guest. As the CEO of a powerful company, Angela had the resources and influence to turn the situation around in a way that no one saw coming. What started as blatant discrimination would lead to an unforgettable lesson for the hotel staff. But how did Angela flip the script and leave everyone stunned? Stay tuned to see how this moment of injustice turned into a story of triumph and redemption that left the hotel begging for mercy. Angela had been looking forward to this trip for weeks, a rare chance to blend business with a little relaxation. She arrived at the hotel early, dressed in a chic but understated outfit, her laptop bag slung over her shoulder. As she approached the front desk, she noticed the receptionist's smile fade. The woman's gaze shifted, scanning Angela up and down, and her tone grew curt. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice laced with doubt. Angela calmly stated her reservation details, but the receptionist barely glanced at the computer before shaking her head. "I'm sorry, but we don't have anything under that name," she said. Angela, keeping her composure, showed the confirmation email, but the woman dismissed it with a smirk. Meanwhile, other guests were being greeted warmly, escorted to their rooms without hesitation. Angela could feel the weight of judgment. Little did the receptionist know, her assumptions would come with consequences. Angela felt the sting of humiliation but remained calm. She glanced around the elegant lobby, watching as other guests were greeted with warm smiles and attentive service. A well-dressed man behind her handed over his credit card, and the same receptionist practically bent over backward to assist him. The contrast couldn't have been clearer, and Angela knew this wasn't just a mistake, it was personal. Still, she wasn't one to back down easily. With poise, she asked to speak to the manager, but the receptionist's smirk only grew. "The manager's busy," she said dismissively, her tone dripping with condescension. Angela's patience was wearing thin, but she decided to handle things strategically. As she stepped away, Angela pulled out her phone. Little did the hotel staff know, this wasn't just any CEO. Angela had connections that could change everything. She began making calls, her determination growing with each word exchanged. The hotel was about to regret underestimating her. Angela walked out of the lobby, her heels clicking sharply against the polished floor. She wasn't upset, she was focused. Her mind raced as she connected with her assistant and began laying out her plan. This wasn't just about her personal experience. It was about sending a message to those who judged others based on assumptions. Back inside, the receptionist remained oblivious, continuing her routine as if nothing had happened. She didn't notice the quiet shift in the air as the hotel staff whispered about a sudden flurry of phone calls. Minutes later, the general manager appeared, looking stressed as he glanced toward the front desk. Angela stood outside, watching it all unfold through the glass doors. She had made a few powerful calls, and the effects were already rippling through the hotel. By the time Angela re-entered the lobby, the once smug receptionist's expression had changed. She looked uneasy, but Angela remained composed. The next move was hers. As Angela stepped back into the lobby, she noticed the sudden shift in energy. The receptionist, now visibly nervous, avoided making eye contact. The general manager rushed over, his tone polite but strained. "Miss Carter," he began, using her name now, "we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. Let me personally assist you." Angela nodded but said nothing. She could tell he was trying to control the damage, but she wasn't done. Just as the manager led her toward a private lounge, a man in an expensive suit walked in, catching Angela's attention. It was one of her business associates, someone she'd invited for a meeting later that day. He approached, greeting Angela warmly.